Warzone needs some changes, so today I'm going to cover 5 things which Activision should add in Warzone. Welcome back to COD Filming, let's get into the video. Number 5, option to disable crossplay. In this game, you are not allowed to play without crossplay activated. This hands a disadvantage to the console players, as they might have to go against PC players who have a keyboard and a mouse, which makes it relatively easier for them. Additionally, you may come across some hackers as a result of this, so there isn't a level playing field. Many have expressed their criticism of this particular point, and so if Activision can update the game so that there is an option to disable crossplay, then whoever feels that the game is not fair towards console players, they can just turn off the crossplay. This will definitely bring a larger crowd to the game, especially from among the PS4 players, who, when they get a better chance at winning any game, shall be motivated to play.
Don't seem to have a problem finding games at any point in the day, and if you turn around and say to me, oh, you've got to wait for...
Number 4, increase the loadout drop. The loadout drop is set at 6k. Some people prefer it like that, as it removes the main RNG point of a battle royale, and yet some people think that this is the reason that the game can turn slow sometimes. Why, you may ask? To collect the money and then easily buy weapons and shields, which will max the loadout soon enough, which inevitably results in the player playing passively and camping hard. It should try to tackle challenges that a game should have to keep the interest of a player maintained so that the player is not camped out for too long, because of course that defeats the purpose of the game then. What they should do is add some complexity to the game by raising the loadout drop so that the game maintains the interest of the player intact, enough for him to fight harder for the things that may not be easily available. When these things are not easily handed out to the players, it will then result in the game being more aggressive and fast-paced.
It looks like it needs to fill is it has to drop within the circle itself. So it's never going to drop within the gas or right.
Number 3, add an improved thermal scope. There has been much discussion surrounding this particular point everywhere, but most have a very negative opinion concerning the thermal scopes. Many have said that it results in slower ADS speed, and they also recognize the disadvantage that it is not able to show the sniper glints or the lasers in the scope's sight. The gaming community is divided on if they should or should not remove this feature. Some say that its sight is way better than any other and gives a player an advantage over everyone else, while some say that the cold-blooded enemies can be really hard to identify through the scope, and if they are not identifiable, some people prefer to use the regular scope. Instead of removing the feature, maybe it can be updated in some way that the cold-blooded can be more distinguishable than they are now. It doesn't have to be exactly the thermal scope, but a scope with similar features. Sniper glint should be registered by the scope as well, so in this way, both arguments can be rested and they can both be happy with the improved version of the scope, which may or may not be called a thermal scope. Number 2, better audio. The players instantly knew that the audio was not that great, especially by the Battle Royale standards. The positional audio is said to be awful. The footsteps of the player's own teammates have a louder sound, while the footsteps of the enemies are a crucial thing that are extremely quiet, which of course offers a disadvantage to the player as he is not able to hear her or him. The gunshots have almost no distance scaling, either they are too far or they are right next to you. Some have even reported duplicating sounds, so that when they are driving a car, it sounds like another vehicle is near them when it's just the player's own car engine. Loot boxes can be distinguished laterally, but they should also have vertical sound adjustments so that the player can know on which floor the loot box is situated. Some people have also complained that it had crackling issue in the sound as well, so in general the sound is causing several problems. They should especially work on making the footsteps and the gunshot sounds more accurate and more distinguishable, as the game depends on these particular sounds, and the audio as a whole should be repaired for any possible crackling or loud noises that people may have heard in their game. Number 1, the map. They incorporated quite a large map in the game that can be a plus point as it shows a variation of the landscapes. Yet here in this game, even with 150 players involved, sometimes they are just not visible. Imagine leaving a building, you cannot take any transport as you can pinpoint your location, so you walk instead. Then you will notice how monotonous it can get. Gray shaded towns and industrial areas, I would consider this as a little design flaw, that's all. That's why I decided to add this to the end of the list. To give credit where deserved, they did include many familiar locations on the map that added to the beauty, so they should add more familiar locations and add an updated version of the map that is briefer that stands out. This will attract a larger audience as well.
It looks like it needs to fill is it has to drop within the circle itself. So it's never going to drop within the gas or right.
This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.